Hello and welcome to the 153rd episode of Fur, Fins, and Feathers. Our guest today is Adriana Soraya from Cranston, Rhode Island, who is the...
I am the Education and Outreach Manager at the Rhode Island SPCA.
What a fun job you have.
It is very fun, yeah.
Tell us about your work.
Yeah, so we have a humane education department at the Rhode Island SPCA. We're the Rhode Island Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. So our mission is to teach kids to have empathy for all living things. And we do that through a variety of different things. We have school programs, we have homeschool programs, we have camp that we just had this week. The kids will get to meet animals and we'll pretty much teach them, how to take care of them, how to be responsible pet owners, and really how to be safe around animals too. So we'll do a lot of bite prevention, how to approach a dog that, you might not know or you always ask for permission, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
All kinds of animals.
All kinds of animals. So at the shelter we have dogs, we have cats, we have guinea pigs, rabbits, ferrets, chinchillas, and all of those animals are either owner surrender, so people that can't take care of their animals anymore, and they'll go back up for adoption, or those animals might be from a cruelty case where they're not being properly taken care of. For example, just last week we had close to 100 cats that we had to take, so we're pretty busy taking care of those this week.
Cats of all sizes and
all
shapes
all
and
shapes
colors
and sizes. Yep, yeah.
100 animals.
Close to it. Yep, yeah.
And they were all confiscated?
Yeah, so it was a situation where someone just got in over their head and they did the right thing and reached out to us. So we were able to help them out. We took all of the cats. We have a clinic at the SPCA, so they're all getting vetted, spayed, neutered, and then they'll go into foster homes and then up for adoption.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Talk about, you just had a program this week.
Yeah, so we had...
Talk about that.
It's called Cozy Critter Camp, so we do a few different camps throughout the year. We have our summer camp, which is a week long, but then during the winter and the spring, we have just day programs. So yesterday, for example, we had 10 to 14-year-olds at the shelter, and they came in, they do activities and games. We made cat shelters for those cats that I was just mentioning. We made enrichment projects, so they would make like catnip paper bags for our cats at the shelter. They do arts and crafts, and then yesterday they were actually able to meet a puppy, they met a cat, and they were also able to meet our ambassador guinea pigs, Beans and Beatrice, who live at the shelter, and some rabbits as well.
Talk about the importance of humane education.
Absolutely. So we definitely see, that if people know more about taking care of their pets, we're likely to see less animals in the shelter. So that's our biggest goal, is to educate people how to properly take care of their animals and to have empathy, right? Because I think that that's something as a society that's really important for kids and adults to learn. And so I would say our most popular program that we teach in schools is called Animal Empathy, where we will talk about how pets have, different body languages that will show us how they're feeling. And if we can respond properly to that, then we can stay safe. And, it can prevent us from getting bitten or scratched, things like that, because those are things that often lead to people wanting to surrender their pets to the shelter. So
an important part of your job is to go out to outreach in schools.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're in schools, I would say 1 to 2 times a week. On average, we visit 1,000 kids a year in schools. And then we'll also, for our summer camp, we have about 100 kids over the summer that will, spend time at the shelter every week.
What animals do you own?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I have 2 cats, 2 black cats, Zook and Luna, that were found outside, and then we took them in. I have 1 fish, 1 betta fish, and then I have my very, very, don't tell anyone else, favorite, Fiona, the bulldog, and Fiona was rescued from the SPCA. Yeah.
Talk about Fiona, your book.
Yeah, so in June of 2023, Fiona was found in a garage She was living in a crate along with 10 other dog friends, and unfortunately they just were not being taken care of. And so a Good Samaritan was walking in their neighborhood, heard a lot of dogs barking, knew that they could call us at the Rhode Island SPCA. So we responded, and we were able to take custody of all of these dogs. They were surrendered to us. Took them back to the shelter, and they were spayed, neutered, put up for adoption, and that's where I met Fiona. And so through my work in humane education, I really wanted to find a way to tell her story in an age-appropriate way. And so it really just started off as a PowerPoint presentation that I would show the kids, and the kids could meet Fiona, and then we would do games with her. And eventually I kind of had the thought, like, oh, I wonder if I could pay someone to do illustrations for this book. And so I got some funding to do that, which was amazing, and I had a lot of support from the SPCA and was able to independently publish her story. And now I'm able to share it, and I will read it to schools. And she used to visit schools as well. She's a little, she's on her way to retirement now, but she was for a while visiting schools with me, and she was a credentialed pet therapy dog too.
Could you show us?
Yeah, I would love to.
Yes.
Yeah, so it pretty much starts off with, what pets need. So it will say, Fiona loves having mealtime. She likes going for walks. She likes going to the vet, because I want to teach people that those are things that pets need. And then it kind of goes into her story of how she was feeling when she was in her crate. And, there was a loud knock on the big door, and they didn't know what it was. And so eventually the SPCA comes in, and it's the story of how she feels. So at first she's kind of nervous, and because she doesn't really understand what's going on. And then eventually she goes back to the shelter, and, she goes to the vet and everything, gets everything she needs. So it pretty much tells the story of, what pets go through when they come into the shelter. It's not just we take them and then they go to someone else's house. There's a whole process that they have to go through. And then the second half of the story talks about me meeting her. This is actually the shelter right here. And I always like to tell the kids right here, it pretty much says, oh, I met her and I really fell in love with her, but then I had to leave. And the kids are always like, why didn't you just take her home right away? And then that's where I take an opportunity to ask them, okay, what do you have to do before you adopt an animal? You have to save money. You have to go to the pet store and get supplies. You have to make sure everyone in your house is okay with you bringing a pet home. So it really ties in the pet responsibility aspect of it. And then, so, it's her waiting, and then eventually I decide to bring her home. And then this is what she does now. So she'll go to schools and libraries and we'll talk about what we do. And then my favorite part is the last page, where all of the other dogs found homes too. So, yeah.
That is a beautiful book.
Thank
and where
you.
is that available?
Yeah, so if you want to support the SPCA, you can actually go right to rispca.org and purchase it there. And that way part of the funds will go towards helping the shelter animals.
Or they can come directly to the shelter.
Yes,
Where is your
absolutely.
shelter?
We're at 155 Plan Way in Warwick, right off of Jefferson Boulevard. Yep.
That is a beautiful, beautiful book.
Thank
and it's
you.
So beautifully,
I was really happy with it.
It is so beautifully illustrated.
Yes. Yeah, the illustrator's from Turkey. So I found her, I think, on Etsy. And I was able to just send her the descriptions of what I wanted the pictures to look like.
And she did a very
everything.
beautiful job.
Yeah, she's awesome. So, yeah, I'm very happy with it. And I would do it again if I could. I think someday I will.
You will do it again.
I will do it again someday. So,
talk about the importance of shelter animals.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many shelter animals that need homes, all sorts of animals. And, sometimes we see the toughest parts are animals that have been through a lot, and sometimes it takes them a while to, regain trust with people before they can actually find homes. So I always tell people that if they're looking to help us at the SPCA, they can become volunteers. They can socialize animals, because that's really what helps those shelter animals. And
so many animals are neglected.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I think that goes down to the lack of education and lack of empathy. So that's where we come in, and we try to share Fiona's story and talk about the importance of taking care of these animals.
How old do you have to be a volunteer?
Yeah, so if you want to work with the dogs, you have to be 18. But we also take volunteers between 14 and 16 years for our small animals and our cats as well. And then we have school programs, we have education programs, homeschool programs for all of the younger kids. So our goal is that, you can start off as young as, 0 to 5 years old in our story time programs, and then stay at the shelter until you're old enough to become a volunteer.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
What does it take to be a volunteer? What are the requirements?
Yeah, that's a very good question. A lot of people ask me that. Pretty much you would go on our website and you would apply. We would just want to make sure that it's a good fit, but for the most part, we're never going to turn away someone that's trying to help us out. You would just have to go through some training and orientation with our volunteer coordinator. And then once you go through training, you're able to sign up for shifts as you are available. So if you're only available once a week, that's great. If you're available once every 2 weeks, we'll take it too, So it's pretty much, when you're available. We would never turn away anyone, so.
And that is a good segue for a lot of people who want to become interested in going to veterinary school.
Absolutely.
Or going to
Yeah.
a training program.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we also have a program for little kids. So even if you weren't able to volunteer because you weren't old enough, if you like reading, we have a reading program for the littles. So you would come in, it's called Books with Beans, and you would just sit with the bunnies or the cats and you would just read to them your favorite book. And to us, that's volunteering too, because you're socializing the animals, getting them used to a human's voice and everything like that. So we have lots of different opportunities for sure.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, it's
What
fun.
about the cats and the dogs?
Yeah, we have.
What about the I'm thinking too, the rabbits?
Yeah, we have so many rabbits right now. And especially when it gets closer to springtime, we call it kitten season. So we'll have a lot more kittens, a lot more, baby animals in general. So.
But to read to the children.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They need it. It's good. It's really great socialization and enrichment for them.
And pick out a book and read to the children.
Yeah.
Read to the critters.
Yes. Yep. It's called our Books with Beans program, and that's a free program as well. So if a family was bored, like on a rainy Sunday afternoon, they could just come in and do that.
And just sit there and read.
Yeah. Yep. And sometimes, we'll even have adult groups come in and do it. Again, just because it's something fun to do, you get to meet the animals and you're also helping them. So,
what type of animals can people come to buy? Not to buy, to
adopt.
To adopt.
Yeah. So primarily we have cats, dogs, and small animals. So kittens, adult cats, senior cats. We have puppies, we have senior dogs, we have adult dogs. And then for our small animals, we have rabbits, so all sorts of different types of rabbits. We have guinea pigs. We have, every once in a while, we'll have ferrets, we'll have chinchillas, hamsters, gerbils, those sort of animals. So a lot of people...
And people can adopt them.
Yeah, and you can go and adopt them. So if you're interested in adopting, you'd go to our website, rispca.org, and you would just fill out an application, and we would call you and set up a meet and greet for that animal.
That's very interesting. I'm thinking, what about older animals? There is a need for older animals to be adopted.
Absolutely. So unfortunately, a lot of people always really want to have kittens or puppies. They're less interested in the senior animals. So we really try to get those animals into foster homes and highlight them as much as we can. So we'll do that through social media. We will do, we'll go on the news with an animal to try to advertise them as we can. But actually, just this week, we had a senior dog of 9 years. Her name was Wilma, and she just got adopted. So that was, when we see that happen, it just kind of, it makes us feel really, really great about what we're doing. So.
And you are doing some great things.
Thank you.
But talk about Wilma.
Yeah, so Wilma is a wonderful, she was like a lab mix, and unfortunately her owner could no longer care for her. And so she went to the shelter and spent some time in an office. So a lot of times if we have senior dogs or senior cats that don't do well or they're a little stressed in the kennels or in the cat areas, we'll put them in our offices so that the people that work in their offices can spend more time with them. They're more comfortable. And so Wilma spent a few weeks in an office, and you could tell she was happier there, but you know, she would have been happier in a home. So she was waiting for that to happen. And so eventually someone applied and it was a perfect fit, so they took her home.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And we try to highlight those stories as much as we can because we think it inspires other people to do the same thing. It's hard, especially with senior cats, to find homes as well. So.
Is it really?
Yeah. I mean, and
everybody wants a kitten.
Exactly. Yeah, and kittens are great and they're fun, but they get adopted fairly quickly, as you can imagine. So.
My own cat is now 12
Oh,
or
wow.
11 or 12, and we've had her for 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
But she was in a situation where she was going to be euthanized.
Oh, yeah.
In northern Massachusetts, she was going to be euthanized. And
well, you did the right thing, taking her home.
we found that she was available, and she was perfectly fine.
Of course,
and she was healthy, and she had all her vaccinations and shots and everything. And she came to our house, and she hid for the first day, and then she took right over.
Yeah, and that's something that we always share. It's called the 3-3-3 rule. So it just takes pets a long time, essentially, to
what is your 3-3-3 rule?
Yeah, so it's 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. So 3 days for an animal, you know, an animal might be hiding, or, you know, they might just feel confused on where they are once you adopt them. 3 weeks, they're starting to like learn that they're safe, and, you know, this might be somewhere that they can live. And 3 months is that they're really like learning their routine and learning that they're in their new home. So
well, in our case, our guy, she stayed, and she took over the next day.
Yeah, that's impressive.
She just moved right in.
That's great. Yeah, and sometimes that happens too. But we always like to preface that with adopters because a lot of times they'll call us the next day and they're like, you know, this cat is not doing what I thought they would do, and I want to bring them back. And we're like, hang on, you got to give them a little more time to get adjusted, and we promise that, you know, everything will work out. And we have we have a feline behavior specialist at the SPCA. She's amazing, and she will talk to people who have questions about their cat's behavior, and every once in a while she'll go and visit and work with their cats as well, because our goal is to keep all of our animals in the homes. So.
Now, you came, I missed the meeting, but you were a guest at the Rhode Island Kennel Club.
Yes, correct, yep.
How did that go?
It was so fun. It was great to meet everyone. I always say that, you know, everyone just cares about happy, healthy pets, so it was wonderful to share our mission and what we're doing, and it was really great because someone there actually heard about our camp because I was talking about our camp, and her granddaughter ended up attending our camp this week and had a great time. So I just love making connections and you know, sharing what we do. So
now do you come into Massachusetts?
On a case-by-case basis, every once in a while we will, but for our free school programs and things, that's only in Rhode Island.
Okay.
Yeah. But we welcome, like for our camps, we'll definitely have people from all over visiting us for our summer camp, so, yep.
What summer camp is it? Now, it's almost to the end of the year.
Yeah, so March 1st, our registration will be up. I always tell people to register right away just because it fills up pretty fast. We only have one session a week. So that'll be open March 1st, and then we're also going to have registration for our spring break camp open on March 1st as well.
And what does that entail?
Spring break camp is all about taking care of the animals. So the kids are going to learn how to clean cages. They're going to make enrichment. One of my favorite activities they do at spring break camp is making vegetable sushi for the rabbits. So we'll take cucumbers and turn them into sushi, and the kids have a blast doing that. And then for our summer camp, we have 2 different themes. We have Weeks, Whiskers, and Wonders, and then we have Animal Careers, which is a fan favorite. And we'll have guest speakers come in, talk about what they do. The kids will meet a variety of animals. They'll help clean the cages and play lots of games.
Talk about that program, about the enrichment for going to school.
Oh, so for when I visit schools?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's usually like 1 to 2 times a week. I will go to the shelter and prep all my materials. We have a very special van. We have 2 education vans, so we'll take those to the schools, and I'll bring, usually I bring our ambassador guinea pigs, Beans and Beatrice, and I will do a little presentation, or I'll read a book. I'll read Fiona's story, and then we'll do an activity. So I have, for example, I have like a pet mystery bag. So it'll have, like leashes and collars and, a stethoscope, and the kids have to pull something out of the bag and tell us why they think it's important for pet needs. And then at the end of that program, they'll meet our animals. So if I bring the guinea pigs, they'll get a chance to touch them, and we talk to them about, safe touch and only petting them with 2 fingers and being respectful to them. And it's really great program, and the teachers love it, the kids love it, and it gives us a chance to share our resources. So if families are interested in either our education programs, or they need assistance with caring for an animal, or they need to access our vet clinic, we have a fully functioning vet clinic as well. So I'm able to give them all of my information for that.
Talk about, too, your program about young people who might want to go into veterinary medicine.
Oh, yeah. So for that, I guess that would be more related to our Animal Careers summer program.
Yes,
so
that's
yeah.
what
Okay,
I
sorry.
wanted, yes.
Yeah. So we'll have each day of the summer camp will be themed to a different position at the shelter. So one day they'll learn about adoption coordinators, one day they'll learn about law enforcement, one day they'll learn about veterinary science. So on those days, we'll talk a lot about the different positions at the veterinary clinic. They will get a tour of the clinic, and they'll get a chance to see our facility. And we'll do a few different activities, that kind of exposes them to that sort of thing. So
I have had the principal and the superintendent from Bristol Aggie
Oh,
who
wow.
have come on the show
Oh, wow.
and talked about their influence at the high school and how many students
Yeah.
are very interested in
There's a lot.
pursuing
Yeah.
animals' careers.
Yeah. Yeah, every once in a while we'll have interns at the vet clinic when they have capacity to do it. But I always tell people if they're interested in doing that, they would want to contact the clinic directly. I wouldn't necessarily be involved in that. But yeah, we try to help out and expose people as much to what we do as much as possible. So
Now you are going to write another book.
I'm hoping, yep.
What would that be about?
I'm still deciding. All of my campers, that I've seen through my programs really want it to be about Fiona, so I guess that's what I have to do. And so my idea is that it would be something about her relationship with the squirrels in the backyard that she likes chasing, but I haven't hashed it out yet. That's my general brainstorm, so we'll see what I come up with.
How did you get interested in humane education?
Yeah, so that's a great question. My background's actually in environmental education, so I studied forest biology and marine science. And what I would do is I would teach people about the environment and, the importance of being nice to it, essentially. And I would teach environmental science. And so I have some experience working in zoos. And after that, I decided, I'd kind of shift gears a little bit because I was fostering some dogs at the time. And the position at the SPCA opened up, and it was honestly a perfect combination of all of the things that I love, pets and people and teaching people about pets. And I'll throw in some environmental education when I can as well. So.
Now, you worked in zoos?
Yes, yeah.
Talk about that.
That's
fascinating.
It was fun. It was really fun. So growing up, I worked at a zoo in upstate New York, and I started off as a zoo teen, so just like a junior volunteer at age 14, and I did that enough and then got a paid position as a camp counselor teaching zoo camp. And then I would run overnights at the zoo, and I kind of just worked my way up a little bit until I went to college. And then after college, I got an AmeriCorps seasonal position at the Cincinnati Zoo in Ohio.
That is
so
fascinating.
I worked there for a little bit and pretty much taught like similar programs. So I would teach school programs. We did programs at the shelter and then our summer camp. And I would get to, hold the birds and the snakes to talk about, conservation with folks. So that was really, really fun.
Did you work with any gorillas?
Not directly, no. But we saw them every day. They were the best. Very great animals, so yeah.
I am fascinated by gorillas.
Yes, they're so cool, yeah.
And there's so many of them now.
Yeah. They're doing a great job.
Their conservation has really improved their lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you've had a very fascinating career.
I have, and I'm very thankful, for the support I've received along the way, and I absolutely love what I'm doing now, so.
We are getting ready to wrap up.
All right.
We'd love to have you come back.
Oh,
You're
absolutely.
fascinating.
Thank you for having me. It was really great to share all of our work about the SPCA and about Fiona's book, and I'm excited to be here, so thank you.
Now, what are the hours at the SPCA?
Yeah, so we're open 11 to 4 daily, and I always tell people that if they really want to meet a specific animal to always fill out an application first.
Fill out an application.
Yes, absolutely.
And proceed from there.
Yep, absolutely, yep.
But there is such a need for animals.
Yes, yeah, we need definitely even volunteering. So we always say if you can't foster an animal, volunteer, anything that you can do to help promote what we do, and we always need the help, so.
Adriana, it has been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we're wrapping up one episode of 153 of Fur, Fins, and Feathers, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.